All right. So welcome everybody to another valuable Link and Learn. The Link is where we get to network, and the Learn is where we get a presentation by a very special guest. Today, we have Jennifer Kulboc from Mountaintop Consulting. She's an amazing social media expert, and we're really lucky because this is a really cool session. So thank you, Jennifer. I'm going to start off by introducing myself. My name is Erin. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with me. I am the co-owner of the Fountainhead Network Co-working and Media Space, and we're right next to Coquitlam Center, and we have an amazing community here in our network, and everybody is so lovely, and just join us and see what we can do for you. But I'm going to give you a quick tour of our space here for anybody who hasn't seen it. Can everybody see my YouTube screen?
Sure.
I'll take that as a yes. I'm gonna press play.
Erin, we don't have sound if it's supposed to have sound.
Huh?
Should it have sound?
It should have sound.
Okay, well, I don't think we.
How do I do that? If it's turned up on here.
When you click share screen on Zoom, there's a little button there that says sound that you need to select.
Oh.
So stop screen share, start screen share again, and when you click it, you should tick that option.
Okay, let's try that. Thanks, Lee. Okay, share sound. Awesome. You're the best, Lee. Thank you. Okay, let's start. Hey. Oh. Hold on. It wants my password to allow share sound? Oh, God.
Isn't technology so much fun?
It's great. It's really great. I really hope that's the password. Oh my gosh.
You could just sing along with the video for us.
True.
It's actually just like elevator music. So if I can't get the sound to work, that's
I don't
fine.
know any of these people.
You can just hum, Ben.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'll just hum. I'll just hum for everybody because I don't remember the password for this. All right. So we'll continue.
It's a lesson on being prepared, right?
It's like I hear the sound too, and it's like really loud. So all right. So we're gonna play, and I'm gonna hum for you, and it's like really funky music. So, dun 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 dun. Our lounge. Dun, 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 dun. We have games. This is actually an older video, and we've upgraded a few features, but not too many. The flex room, great for workshops, and our meeting room, also great for workshops, but
which is where I am.
That's where Nabila is. And our green screen studio is still coming soon. It's been a long work in progress, but if you haven't been here, book a tour. I'd love to show you around. And anyway, I will get back to our little presentation here. Pause. Okay. All right. So then, okay. Hey, Max. All right. Okay. So everybody gets a 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch because we want to meet you all. Where's my list of participants here? I'll just start. Oh, we got a couple. All right. So we got a few more joining us here. Hi, I think Gus is just entering the room. All right. Well, we're waiting for Gus to enter the room. Should I play the video again? No?
We're good, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So everybody gets a 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch. I'm going to, let's see. We'll start with Nabila. And I'll work my way down the list. So Nabila's first on my list aside from me and Jennifer. So Nabila, please introduce yourself.
Okay, well, I don't have an elevator pitch per se, but I am the owner of Mindful Nourishment. So it's holistic nutrition and food relationship coaching. I'm also a body, mind, food, and a food psychology coach. So I deal mostly with chronic fatigue, adrenal fatigue, low energy, and then mental wellness. So anxiety, depression, cognition. But on the coaching side, which does include nutrition as well, I work a lot with food addictions, disordered eating, poor body image, binge eating, and chronic dieting.
Amazing. And she's a member here at the Fountainhead Network.
Yeah.
And she's a master connector here. She works with everybody. She loves to refer people. And yeah, she's amazing. What, do you love or hate the snow, Nabila?
Love the snow. Bring it. I want more.
I'm the same. Actually, I meant to do my icebreaking question too. I love the snow as well. I'm from Mississauga, and I didn't love it back then, but now that I've been away from it for like 15 years, I miss it. So
Well, I'm a winter baby. I'm born in December, Sagittarius, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I didn't like it growing up because my birthday parties would get snowed in sometimes, but now I like it.
Awesome. Thanks, Nabila. Trevor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Trevor Bjorklund. I'm a financial planner with IG Wealth Management. My specialty is dealing with the self-employed business owners, kind of the gig economy. So I, really feel what the Fountainhead Network is doing and appreciate what Aaron does to connect everybody. As far as ice, do I like the snow? Well, the truth is I like the snow for the first hour. I've shoveled my driveway. I don't like it quite as much. And on day 2 or day 3, I'm ready for it to be gone. I'm sorry. I'm a born and bred West Coaster. So bring me the rain.
Awesome. And actually, Trevor has a link and learn with us the next one. He's doing February 16th on life hacks and financial planning advantages for business owners and the self-employed. So that's at, what time is that at again?
Tuesday at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. So you can join us for that one as well. That'll be great. Thanks, Trevor. And so you don't like the snow. I'm gonna leave with that one. I think you don't. Oh no, my list is getting mixed up here. Okay, we'll go. Anita, love to hear from you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Anita Dieter, and let's see, my elevator pitch is that I am a marketing communications consultant, a partner in a small consultancy based in Coquitlam. And I'm interested in learning more about social media because a lot of my clients ask for that service. So when I saw the topic of social media, I was interested. Our typical clients are government clients and not-for-profit agencies. And in terms of snow, I would say I hate the snow because although I'm originally from Calgary and I'm used to the snow, I absolutely hate shoveling it. So I vote against snow. That's it for me.
Awesome. Also, I forgot to mention, if anybody wants to put their information in the chat, definitely go for it. Make it easy to connect that way. Okay, who do we have after? Okay, my list keeps getting mixed up, but I'm going to keep going from the top. Ashley Beck.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Hi, Ashley. Oh, do you got an elevator pitch for us? Love to hear more about you.
I work with Shaw Business. I currently am working focused on the transportation vertical. I come from a pretty heavily service speckled background, working with Air Miles before that, and then Rico before that. And then previous to that, I was working in the film industry for quite some time in makeup.
Oh, that's so cool. And do you love or hate the snow, Ashley?
I'm sorry?
Do you love or hate the snow?
Do I love or hate the snow? I love the snow because I'm born and raised in Vancouver, so we never get it in the city. And yeah, I was living in New York for quite some time. My favorite time there is the winter.
Oh man, the Christmas and New Year's in New York is definitely on my bucket list. So
Yeah, they must be amazing. I've only gone to New York in the summer, but
the summer
in the winter
stench like on your skin every time you leave the house. So yeah, winter is definitely where it's at. It's nice and dry and there's festive.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. All right, who do I have next? Okay, let's go Edward Lissack.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Erin and everyone. I'm a computer doctor and I make virtual house calls online, remotely, and virtually to clients who have sick computers where they get winter flus, viruses, bugs, worms, glitches. And we come in virtually, see what's causing the ailment. We implement our various treatments and solutions. And where we need to do more invasive procedures on sick computers, we have a contactless delivery and pickup included in our price. And we work with small business clients, home-based, office-based in many different sectors. And who do you know is concerned? We are here to help and serve. And I enjoy the snow, especially approaching the holiday season. It's really nice to see it. Afterwards, I like to say goodbye to it for a little while longer. But then again, being originally from Toronto, we used to get they get very prolonged winters that kind of drag on a bit. So it's even nice here to see it. Like when I saw it the other day, it was nice to see a little bit of snow.
Awesome. And Edward's actually a member here as well. And he's a great mentor and teacher. So if anybody needs extra help or around the space, definitely give Edward a shout. And next we have Alvin.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name's Alvin. I'm the Director of Community Development for the Salvation Army Belkin House in Vancouver. So that's what it looks like behind me without the light. Let's see a little bit about myself. Actually, we just at Belkin House, we operate an emergency shelter services and transitional housing residential facility. We have about 235 clients and residents that we serve here at Belkin House. I'm a chef by trade. I've been doing that for well over 20 years. I've been in hospitality for well over 30 years. So that's what's flowing in my blood. Love, hate about the snow, a little bit of both. I think my kids love the snow more than anything. I hate it when other people do not prepare for the snow, as in changing their snow tires, and they get stuck and then it puts everybody else into a bind. But if there's any more snow, like say over an inch of snow, I'll pull out my electric snowblower.
Nice. Awesome. Can't go wrong with one of those. Thanks, Alvin. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Who do we got next? We got Kathy Sina.
Hi there. It's Kathy Chenna, but I also go by Cena. No, it's totally fine. Just like John Cena, the wrestler, for those of you that might follow him. A distant cousin, to be honest. So never met him, but my son did see him at the gym in downtown Vancouver at Equinox and approached him, and he said, "No, it's not me. Like, bug off." And I'm being nice. So we run an academy. We're a family business with 32 staff, and we teach kids in the art of public speaking and debate. We have about 350 students across Canada, in Abu Dhabi and in Australia. So we're super excited. I'm looking for parents who have kids in kindergarten to grade 12 that might want their kids to brush up on their public speaking skills, learn critical thinking, as well as the art of argumentation with debate. Really quick, I did come to Fountainhead and had a tour by, I'm sorry, but I don't know all the names, but it definitely was the mother of the female, one of the female partners / owners who is in communication. So who would that have been?
That was my mom, Roberta.
That's your mom, Roberta. So you're okay, great, perfect. So yeah, she did a fantastic job in showing us the place. It's very lovely. I also just started the Chat TV. I do some work with Tri-Cities Community TV and decided to sort of branch out on my own with a couple of ladies. And we do shows on a weekly basis on Wednesdays, and we were looking for a location, and hence that's why we came to Fountainhead. I'm lucky to live in the beautiful Tri-Cities, the city of Port Moody. And yeah, I'm just really glad to be here. Thanks for the reminder. And I just jumped right on. I left one Zoom call to get onto another.
Awesome.
So I'm happy to be here. I love the snow. Awesome. I have heard from some people in the East My son moved to Toronto actually, and he says that it's sunny every day right now. And as long as he doesn't go outside, which they can't because they're in lockdown, he's pretty happy with the sun shining in his condo. So that's my bit on snow.
Awesome. Thanks. And actually, my husband's a pro wrestler. So
your husband's a big man. I've seen him on doing his podcast / talk shows as well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Kathy. All right, let's go. Who do we have next? She just entered, but she bumped it right up the list. It looks like Linda's next.
I get to be next. What am I saying first?
You're giving us your elevator pitch, and then if you love or hate snow. And judging by your background, I feel like you might like the snow.
Okay, I'll start with the background is actually in sympathy. It's just the last meeting that I had was a bunch of people back east. And I was bragging about the fact that we don't have very much of it. It's cold at the moment, but it's not snowing. And I don't care about it as much as I used to because I don't have to shovel it anymore. I live in a condo. So my answer is, I don't really care. I live and work at home. So, you guys do whatever you need to do out there. My elevator pitch. I am a parenting coach and I teach parenting classes. And one of the things that I really, really love to do is to help parents become great parents before they become grandparents.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, we love Linda over here. She's really great. Definitely get her free ebook. It's unbelievably helpful and hilarious.
Helpful and hilarious. I like that.
All right, after Linda, we have just a few more, I think. We got Hartley.
Let's go there. Hey, can you guys see me and hear me? I just jumped off a call too.
You're good.
All right. Hello, everybody. So the two questions are, what's my elevator pitch and do I love or hate snow? Let's start with the snow. So I grew up in Winnipeg, so it's pretty cold there. I don't like that kind of snow. I like Whistler snow. I like Sun Peak snow. I like that kind of ski resort, nice fluffy snow. But the kind of cold winters that I grew up with, not my cup of tea. And so a little bit about me. So for the last 17 years, I've been a coach and I've been working in and around the cannabis sector for the last 6 years. I've ran a couple of companies. I was a sales coach for a nutrient company. Now I'm focusing on helping coaches create a financial exit strategy. Because what I'm finding is that a lot of people that are micro and solo entrepreneurs love what they do, but they may not be the best at actually creating an exit strategy on what to do after the time has come. And what I've learned, especially during the last year of COVID, is that even with multiple income streams, if you aren't on top of it and if you don't have the right ones, it's not going to serve you well. How's that, guys?
That's great. Thank you, Hartley.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us. All right.
No worries.
And then we have Jessica Couthard is next.
Hello.
Hi, Jessica.
Can you guys hear me? I'm sneaking still at work here. So as far as the snow, I think it's really pretty from a distance. Not a big fan of having to drive in it, but if I don't have to go anywhere, it's amazing to look at. So that's my take on snow. Not a big skier, nothing like that, but it's very, very pretty. And as far as who I am, Jessica Couthard, I'm a coach. My coaching company is Just a Girl Like Me. And my superpower is helping people get shit done. I love goal setting, vision, helping people understand their own personal motivations, learning their strengths and how to use them to their advantage instead of, trying to fix their weaknesses, instead working with what's already going really well for them. I'm also a podcast host and launched last January and have published over 85 episodes. So that's a lot of work considering I also have a full-time job. So when I say I know how to get shit done, I'm good with time management, and that's pretty much me.
She really is. And she's actually a member here at the Fountainhead Network as well. And we love having her. And it was a small world because her and our member Nabila actually knew each other before they even knew that they were at the same place at the same time.
I call it my happy place.
Aw, thanks. Awesome. Who do we have next? Do we do Kayvon yet? Kayvon.
Hello.
Hey, Kayvon.
Hi. This is my first time. Thank you for having me. My name is Kayvon, and looking forward to the presentation today. Hello, Hartley. Good to see you again, my friend. It's been a long time. I am an execution coach, so my superpower is also helping people get shit done. I like to call it implementation. That's actually a Facebook group that I'm working on. It's called Implementation Club. Company's called Simplify.zone. I have been a coach since 2006. What else? Another project that I'm working on is my first book called Simplify. And I am a snow lover, especially when I have my skis on. And looking forward to this presentation. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Kayvon. And I guess we have two more. Leanne. I'm going to mute everybody quickly.
I'm doing work, Mom. I have my social media too.
All right. Okay. So Leanne, you can unmute yourself.
Cool. Hi, everybody. I'm Leanne, or I usually go by Lee. I'm one of the partners of 6 Degrees Productions, and we help our clients promote their businesses and tell their stories through video, animation, and graphic design. So it's all about communicating better. So for our larger clients, we help them communicate better internally to their staff. So that could be in the form of videos and animations and presentations for staff trainings, onboardings, inductions, like award ceremonies, virtual events, conferences, things like that. And we also help our clients communicate better externally in the form of marketing. So that'll be sales videos, promo videos, commercials for a website, social media content, how-to videos, a whole range of different things, explainer animations, and everything in between. And in terms of snow, I love the snow. It's a huge novelty. I'm from Africa and we don't have a lot of snow. Well, we actually don't have any snow. So it's awesome. I've been in Canada for almost 3 years, so we love it.
Awesome.
That's me.
Great. Thanks, Lee. All right. And then I guess we got Renata.
Oh, hello, everyone. Hi, Erin. Thanks for having me here. Great to see everyone I know and see some new faces as well. I'm Renata Steele with Remax City Realty and super excited to have been part of the grand opening from Fountainhead through the Tri-City Chamber of Commerce, which is wonderful to have you there as members as well. I've been a full-time realtor for 11 years, both residentially and on the commercial side as well. And I have the Signature Create system, which is consult, research, advise, team, and put energy into your buying process and the holistic side of purchasing, and you know when the home is right for you as well. I'm also the creator of Babes and Bellinis and Tri-Cities United as well. So great to see everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Renata. And we have, I think that was everything. We had a Ryan H jump in and then he jumped out, I guess. So, and I'm just checking in the chat. Sorry, I was a little bit late to it. I was really into the intros and I'm gonna pass this off to our wonderful presenter. I'm gonna stop sharing and let Jennifer Kulboc give her a little intro and take her presentation from here.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. I'll get my screen set up here and then I'll dive into my intro. So just give us a moment, everyone. Okay. Hopefully you guys are all seeing my screen, and then I just got to bring Zoom back over here. There we go. Okay. Whew. How's it going today, everybody? How's everyone feeling? 2 o'clock. Are we like caffeinated? We're ready. We're here. I'm very excited to be here. And thank you to Erin and the Fountainhead for, bringing you guys all together and allowing me to speak. This content planning workshop I have done a number of times. I've performed at the Women's Enterprise Center and other small groups in my group coaching. So it's one of my favorite workshops to put on. I really hope today at the end of our time together, you will leave with a clear plan that is going to save you time for social media. So before I dive in, everyone want to put in the chat, if you're on social media, give me a yes. And if you wish you could do it more effectively and save time, give me a hell yes in the chat. Okay, yeah, everyone's like, yeah, Hell yes. We want to do it, but we want to do it more time efficiently, right? I know you guys are all busy business owners. Awesome. Okay. So I'll dive into, I'll get those hell yeses coming in. Amazing. I'll dive into my elevator pitch then. So I am the owner of Mountaintop Consulting, a social media and digital marketing strategist. And I've been in the industry for 10 years. And I've worked in everything from public relations to digital marketing and to now kind of specializing social media. And I've worked with everything from big brands. My last job, the last 5 years, was actually with a large government agency. I've worked with nonprofits and startups and kind of everything in between. When I'm not here, I do have 2 little boys. You can actually see in my background here, I'm in the office / nursery, as we all work from home during these COVID times. So just like many of you, and I am a resident here in the Tri-Cities as well, in Port Moody. Fortunate to know some of these faces here. So thank you to people that I have met before. This is really fun to do a presentation to some of the people that I have networked with in the past. And on the snow, okay, so I'm from Ontario. So in Ontario, I hated the snow because we have it for like 5 months of the year. But here, I think I love the snow again because it's so brief. It just comes in and then it leaves. I snowboard here, so I definitely love to like visit the snow and then leave again. I think that's my favorite version of the snow, when we can just go to the mountains and then leave. So, okay, let's dive in. Much like our busy coaches here, I want to execute and keep us on track. So I always like to start with a quote. Everybody loves a good cheesy quote at the start, So I always start with this one by, failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Everybody knows this quote. And most of us here, let's be honest, maybe you can just put a hand up. Who here just feels like they're winging it with social media? Like every day you're just like, I don't know, we'll just like post something to the Instagram. Like I just get it out there. It doesn't matter what it is. We just got to post to something. So this is what we want to stop doing and get you a plan in place so that you can feel much more confident and effective with what you're posting on whatever your social media channels of choice might be. So here's what we're going to dive into today. How to set up the content calendar, reviewing my content pillars and what those are going to look like for your businesses, color coding, because I am a big fan of the color coding if you get to know me. And finally, I will leave you with some tips for scheduling your content, because plan 1 is going to be executing the calendar. Step 2 is then going to be using some scheduling tools. Now I'm going to pop in the chat the link to the content calendar now. Don't feel like you need to download it. It'll go to your email, but I just want to put that in. Erin will also email this out to everyone. Oh, of course, now I copied something else. Erin will email this out to everybody as well afterwards. So if you do miss it now, do not stress about it. It's also going to be available on my Instagram page all the time, but I'm just popping that in the chat now. Maybe just open that in a tab and then, later on, but this will give you the content calendar we're going to look at. This will give you your own editable version so that after this, you can go in and do exactly what you're going to see here today. Okay, let's dive into the magic here. All right, some yes, no questions. So you can just kind of put your hands up on these. Do you currently plan out your content at least 1 week in advance? Everyone's like, you can put this in the chat. No, everyone's like, no. Oh, some people saying yes. Look at Linda. Linda's on top of it. I love it. Aaron's like, maybe. Okay, we got some people. Are you using a tool to schedule your content? Some people, yes, great. I love the people that get this, and everyone's like, no, we need a tool. Maybe, but do you have, this one, do you have core pillars of content that kind of give you a foundation for what you're going to post about? Everyone's like blank stares of death. Like, no, I have no idea. Oh, we got one. Okay, awesome. Who is that? Okay, our financial planner. Amazing. Some people are like, yes. And then finally, do you have ways to easily repurpose or reshare some of the content that you're creating? Okay, kind of like mixed results here. Definitely no. So the goal here is with practice, these are all going to become yeses. We're going to get 4 strong yeses here. Yes, we're planning it out in advance. I know my core pillars. I've got a tool and I know how to take content and repurpose it. That's what we want to get here from you today. So why do you need a content calendar? Like you're like, Jen, why do we need this? Is this going to be effective in my business? The biggest reason, it's all about making a plan. I know here from the coaches especially, it's about making a plan. If we don't have a plan, we don't know where we're going. So we need a plan to put into place for our social media so that we're not just winging it. This helps us to be consistent, which we know makes the algorithm happy. There's no magic number for consistency now. And for some of you, it might be 3 days a week. And for some of you, it might be 6 days a week. Whatever that right number of consistency is for you, that's what we want to build towards. And ultimately, of course, I want to save you time because you're all very busy professionals. And most importantly, get you some results so that you're using your social media channels to grow your businesses, build those email lists, get more people to come to your lunch and learns, whatever it is for you. We want to achieve those goals that you've set out for yourself. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and I'm going to do a live demo, but I'll just walk through a few of these first steps, and then I'll actually do a live demo in the content calendar. So when you click on that link and you give me your email address, it will send you a link that says, here's your content calendar, and you'll open it up and it'll be a Google Doc. I love Google Docs. I hope you guys do too. Now, the one that you get in your link, I know that you're like, yes, I love Google Docs. The one that you get, of course, is a shared version, right? This is the one that everybody gets. So this you cannot edit. So don't try and go in there and edit it. It will say you do not have edit access. What you need to do is make a copy of this to your own Google Drive. And that's the version then you'll be able to edit. So sometimes they get like the request for access, notifications. And I'm like, no, you can't edit this one. Just make a copy. If you've opened it on your phone, like if you get the email on your phone, just do this on desktop. It's a little bit trickier on a mobile phone just to get to the control panel. So just do it at the desktop when you've got a few minutes. You'll make a copy and then ta-da, you'll have the beautiful editable version ready to go. And then it will look like, will look like this. I think I'm just going to dive into it live. I feel like it's just more fun when I do it live. So let's just do that now. Okay, everyone's okay so far? Can everyone hear me? Yes. I know I speak like a mile a minute. This is like my slowed down version, just for everyone who knows me. This is like Jen speaking at a slow cadence. Okay, so this is the live calendar that you're going to get. So it's going to look exactly like this, exactly what you're seeing here. The very first tab that says read this first, I think I just renamed it this morning, but very similar to that. So I think it's a start here. This again will just remind you to make that copy of the content calendar, not as fast as Lee. Again, it'll just give you those steps. It's going to have tips and tricks, which I'm going to get into in a moment. And then finally, the content pillars. And this is my favorite. This is my favorite section. So if you're like, what are content pillars and why do I need them? The content pillars are going to help us focus what we are going to post on social media about, but almost just as importantly, what we are not going to post on social media about. Okay, because I see a lot of this. Now let's say, okay, good one. We have Family Day weekend coming up on Monday, right? Family Day on Monday. Who has a Family Day post ready to go for social media? Raise your hand if you're going to like post something about Family Day. Can't see everybody here, and everyone's like, okay, or put your thumbs up. Okay, some people have a post about Family Day. If you have a post about Family Day, great. Is it going to relate back to the products or services that you offer or getting me to know you better so I can hire you? If the answer is no, then we do not have a Family Day post going out. Okay, so what I mean by this is, oh yes, Family Day not, I know it's not the same. So great, I love that Kathy said no, because that's exactly why. So if you want to have a Family Day post going out, awesome, great time to celebrate family, but it needs to relate back to getting to know you, like you, trust you, or building it out. A great example is Halloween, because Halloween is a more niche holiday and everyone's like, puts out the post, a lot of brands do the Happy Halloween, that's the post. Happy Halloween does not let me get to know you, like you, or trust you better. It doesn't promote what you're selling. That's not a useful post. Now, if you were in the candy business and you're putting out a Happy Halloween post, great, very on brand for your business. For me in the social media industry, I might put out a Halloween post that said, hey, here's some Halloween gifts and candy you want to take a look at to use this week. Then it would be on brand. For Linda, Linda left us for a second, she'll be back. For Linda, I could see Linda having a Halloween post about parenting tips and not having your kid eats too much sugar, or the myths about Halloween and sugar. Again, now that Halloween post is back on brand, but the good old Happy Halloween, no context, no support, no relation back to your business, product, or service is what we want to stay away from. So this is why having the content pillars is gonna help you get set up for success. So no matter what your business is, and we obviously have a variety here. Linda was just talking about you. I hope you heard me.
I heard that, but I can hear you throughout the unit, but I was just getting my tea. And I did have a Halloween post, and it was about how to celebrate Halloween during COVID.
Perfect. See, great, very on brand. There you go. Okay, Edward's got one. Represents security protection for computers. Great. So now, no matter what your brand is, I guarantee that you follow these three content pillars. There'll be some slight nuances here. The first one for almost every brand is tips and FAQ posts. So this is where we teach people little mini versions of what we do. So for the coaches here, I work with a lot of coaches. There's so much, I mean, coaching's a broad category and everyone's got their niche. But tips about goal setting, 3 things you need to know about goal setting, why goal setting is important. Did you know that when you write down a goal, it becomes 87% more likely that you will achieve this goal? All those kinds of things, right? Motivation, where you get motivation from, 3 ways to set up your morning routine for success. These are all the tips and FAQ posts. You know, for a computer doctor, we've got like Don't click on the 3 reasons not to click on that phishing link in your email, 2 programs that you should definitely uninstall today because they're hogging all of your bandwidth. This is the tips and FAQ one. For me in social media, and I have my examples here, what hashtags and engagement and how to grow your account and scheduling tools. This is all the teaching stuff that I'm doing. And this makes up the majority of the content I put out. And this is what this category is really doing, is positioning you as an expert in what you do. If I look at your feed and I'm like, wow, like look at all these amazing tips here about, mindfulness, nourishment. Like I'm really getting to know, this person must really know what they're talking about. They've got such great information here. I'm more likely to book something with you because I know that you know what you're talking about. So that's content pillar number 1. Everyone good so far? Everyone's got some like FAQ posts they could share, probably like 100 come to mind. I'm sure you guys have. If you have an FAQ section on your website, start there. All those FAQs you have on your website all go into this category of content. The second pillar, this is you. If you have a team, this is your team, but this is where we actually get to know the person behind the brand. Most of us here, based on what I wrote down, are solopreneurs. Edward says the content pillar link, it's in the content calendar. It's all in the content calendar. If you're a solopreneur and you are what I'm hiring, then I want to see you. I want to know what kind of coach you are. I want to know about you and how you started your journey, into mindful nutrition. I want to know about Renata, the realtor, and what makes her stand out. So this is where we have to commit to showing up in some way. And I know this freaks people out a little bit because sometimes you're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to be in the feed. But if I'm hiring you to do the work, I want to know who I'm hiring, right? You ultimately are what stand out. Everybody, I wrote down everybody's business here. Nobody had a business that I've never heard of before, right? We all have businesses where there are multiple people who offer what we offer in some way, but there's only one of you. There's only one person that offers those services in the way that you offer them. And that's what makes you stand out. And that's what makes you unique. So for me, I often talk about, I'm a new entrepreneur, mompreneur, balancing my kid life, sharing tips on my journey and my story and how I got here, why I'm so passionate about social media and working with small businesses. But this means me in the feed. Fortunately, as you've probably picked up on, I am a natural extrovert, so that feels easier for me. But there are ways to ease into this for those that are not. There are ways to do things on Instagram stories where we know it will expire. There's ways to do it in a way where we can slowly start to get to know everybody, but I encourage you to strongly think about this category. For those of us that have teams, as some of you guys do here have teams, highlight, you can have your employee of the month. It can be team members, obviously, that work there. This might even be highlighting like the fantastic suppliers that you work with or some of your customers that you work with. So this is really getting the people, we're getting the people in the feed now, who we work with, who we support, and things like that. These are also things like the charities you might work with. Like I know Renata, you do a lot of charity work. So this is highlighting, of course, all of those things that you do as part of the Tri-Cities community and who you are outside of work when you're doing those great things. And then the last category, and it is last for a reason, is what you sell. This is actually what we buy from you. So this is important, but I have put it third. And the reason it's third is because we need to do the other 2 categories first. I need to build trust that you're an expert. Then I need to get to know you personally and be like, yeah, I think this person would be a great fit. And finally, you hit me up with some amazing offer, a new package, your book, the blog to go listen to, a podcast to listen to, a book to read, whatever it is. And now I'm ready to make that purchase with you or book a consultation to learn more. So that's kind of the process for the content pillars. So the goal with this is after this, you're going to take this home, you're going to put some things in the content pillars. And then every time a post idea comes up, you're going to go, where does that fit in my content pillars? And if the answer is, it doesn't fit in my content pillars, guess what? We're just not going to post about it. We just say, goodbye, idea. That's gone now. We're not going to post about it. It doesn't tie into one of my core content pillars. And therefore, it's not information that's actually useful for my audience to get to know, like, and trust me. That maybe goes for me. I have a separate business and personal account. And this is why. On my personal account at Jennifer Kulboc, this is just me here hanging with the kids, going skiing. This has no business content on it at all. That's just my personal life. On my business account, it is a business account and I treat it like such. This is where I'm only going to post this type of content. And while they're still getting to know me, they're getting to know a bit more polished version of me and not, me in my pajamas or something like that. This is the professional side of me. And I certainly still show off my personality that way, but in a way that is purposeful for people who are connecting with my business. Okay, I think we're okay to keep moving forward. Excellent. So there's a few examples here. I think almost everybody was in the service sector. There's a service sector example, and then I put a physical goods example here too, for anyone who sells physical tangible goods. Now, when you dive in, you'll see all the months here. The 2020 has actually been deleted. You won't get that one anymore. And we'll just start in, we'll start in February, because it's February right now. I'll click into there. Oh, color coding. I missed the color coding. Then let's just do it live now. This is my most important part. So every month will look like this. You'll have about 5 to 6 days a week of content prompts, some of them color coded, some of them not. So let's dive into what that looks like. The blue posts are the specific days of the week or the month that represent something. So like Family Day, we know it's Valentine's Day, it's also Chinese New Year tomorrow, although that kind of spans a week. But these are days of the month that mean something that could have something for your business. They also could mean nothing for your business, and that's totally fine too. But I put them in there as reminders so that we don't forget about some of these important holidays in case they're relevant for you. The next one is pink. This is a good reminder for if you have a blog post, blogs that you're writing regularly, make sure we're sharing that content more than once a month. I often see my clients who write these beautiful blog posts, they share it one time in the social media world, and they're like, well, I shared it. And I was like, you shared it one time? Forever? That's it? We had all this time writing this beautiful blog post. So this is a reminder that I want you to share your blog posts more than once. There's different ways you can share them. You can change up the image, you can change up the caption. If you're on Facebook, we can format things differently, but make sure that amazing content that you're creating is getting out more than one time. In fact, I would repeat those blog posts again later on in the year too, but make sure we're hitting people up to let them know, because not everybody sees every post. Once a month, I love this one in purple. Introduce yourself. If this is your first time putting yourself on the feed, great place to start. This is literally the like, hey, I'm Jennifer Kulboc, and if you're new here, here's a couple things you didn't know about me, and maybe I share a few personal facts. Or hey, Jennifer Kulboc, I'm a member of the Tri-City community, and here's some of the charities I'm supporting this month, and I'd love for you to join me in donating. And maybe this is over, the Christmas holiday time period, but this is literally where we have to remind ourselves that every month your audience is growing, and not everybody knows you. So take a time every month to introduce who you are and something a little bit different about yourself so that we get to know you. In green, our most important ones are those FAQ posts. Some of them just say FAQ reminder, and then some of them are a bit more specific, but this is making sure that at least once a week, if not even 2 or 3 times a week, we are giving some valuable FAQ tips and information so that we're educating our audience. Once a month, have the all-important customer testimonials. Depending on your business, you may want to be sharing those more than once a month, totally fine. But make sure that we have at least once a month some of those great praises that I know you're receiving from your clients. Share that in a way so that you can, say how awesome you are without just saying I'm awesome. But get those client testimonials in front of your audience, because that's the best way to convince the next person to sign up with your program, is by letting people know exactly how it changed their lives. Inspirational quote, I throw that in once a month. Everybody loves a good inspirational quote. Again, this may not work for your business, and that's totally fine, but almost every industry, there's an inspirational quote opportunity. There's very few that aren't. And then finally, the rest of the days are just white. And these are just other content prompts. Some of them timely, some of them what I want to call evergreen, meaning they could be shared anytime. Just other writing prompts to help us think about other content ideas we might want to share. So for example, I've got the winter blues in February. I think we're all feeling the winter blues because there's no trips to Mexico this year. What's changed in your industry since it started, business wins, statistics. These are just other prompt ideas to help us think about, like, well, what else could I possibly share about? Of course, we've got the content pillars, but these ones kind of dig in a little bit further. Now, if you want more writing prompts, this is a really good tab, the writing prompts tab. These are the writing prompts that help us write about us when we don't know what to say. There are, drum roll, 180 of them. That's right, 180 different ideas, all kinds of different prompts 181 bonus, or did I have a title one? Let's call it 180. But these are all different writing prompts to write about your business. Now, not all of them are going to be perfect for you, and that's okay. We don't need 181 prompts. You probably need like 50 great prompts. Between all the other content, that would be lots. So what I typically do is go through some of this and then just highlight them that work for me. Promote your freebie or email list. That's important to do on a regular basis. Seasonal updates, your favorite book. for most of you guys, especially coaches, everybody loves to know what book the coaches are reading. I've had to start my business again from scratch. Oh, where you grew up? Lots of you guys grew up in different parts of Canada. How, why did you move here? What shaped you? What was that journey that brought you out west? So these are all stories that, again, help us connect to our audience when I get to dive in to know a little bit about you. There's lots of process one about how you've streamlined your process to get your clients results. Those are always great stories to share. Charities, meditation. So there's a whole spectrum here. And again, of the 180 that are in here, I know there's going to be 50 to 100 that work for your business, depending on what that is. So lots of kind of juicy ideas that we can kind of dig into here. So that's the content calendar in a nutshell. We've got every month planned out like this. And we've got March, you can go through them. Typically what I do before I start editing is make a copy. So if I'm like, okay, I'm ready to plan out March, then I would make a copy and then I would actually go in and start to edit it. So let's just do February since we're here. I'm going to do it live. I'm going to click duplicate. Okay, then I've got my copy. And then what I actually do is go in and delete anything that doesn't speak to me. So if I'm like, I don't have a blog, I would just be like, nope, no blog for me, Jen. I'm going to delete those out. Chinese New Year, that's not on target for me. I'm going to delete that one. National Pizza Day, maybe you have a love-hate relationship with pizza. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like pizza. Maybe it's not for you. Delete that out. And then I also would put in anything that's really date specific for me. So let's say I was launching a new digital course. Let's say I was launching a course here. So I'm like, course launch. Then I would go back, and I know this week for me would be all the course launch lead up to it, right? I'm going to be like tip about course. I'm going to be like customer testimonial about the course. And then I'm going to be like only one day until the course launch. And maybe the next day is like, don't miss the course. Something like that at a very high level. So then I would go in and fill in those really key dates. So some of you guys have programs that are date specific, events, hopefully in the future that we go to again. Or some of you might just want to give yourself a pretend launch. Like, I really want to sell 3 packages of X this month. Well, how am I going to do that? I've got to build up some momentum about that. Like, what do I really want to focus on this month? What do I want to focus on? Is there a theme? And maybe there's a whole theme for the week so that I move the dial on a certain product offering. So for those of you that don't have launches, do you offer a product and maybe you're like, I haven't been talking about that product for a while. So maybe we do a deep dive into one of your package offers for a week or two to spark some interest in that again. Oftentimes with things like this, it takes several posts to really, cement in someone's mind about why they need your product or service. So if you build out a little mini pretend launch for yourself, you'll probably see some results, right? Like if we have a little system like this, of course, I would tie this into my email marketing as well, but this gives you just some foundation to kind of work with. Okay, everyone's still on board so far? Everyone unmute yourself. Just maybe pull down your space bar and say, yes, you're still alive in here.
Not dead. Still alive.
I miss the in-person stuff. You actually know that people are still there and still with you. Okay, so that's the content calendar in a nutshell. I'm going to dive back into the presentation for a few more points now, and you guys will get all of this emailed to you with instructions. Let me put this back on present mode. I've got my color coding in here. Present. There we go. Okay, perfect. So in a nutshell, again, that recap of how you set it up. I always try and look at the whole month ahead, and on a very, again, high level, just look at what are those things I have to talk about this month? What products and services do I really want to sell this month? For those of you that have many, maybe pick 1 or 2 that are going to be the focus of this month. Put those dates in first, do your work backs, and then use all of those content prompts and color codes to fill in the rest of your days. And before you know it, you're off to the races with about 4 or 5 pieces of content per week. Again, some of the writing prompts, I just put a few examples in here. So behind the scenes, everybody loves behind the scenes. So that's always a great one if you can show, how you do the behind the scenes in your business. Always a great idea. Something you don't agree with. People love the things that you don't agree with in your industry, and what maybe something you do differently. Book or podcast inspiration. I think for most of you, I feel like, oh yeah, like financial planner. What books are you reading to stay up to speed on financial planner? Or of course, all of our coaches. I definitely want to know what you're reading for inspiration. So people love that topic. And a mini interview. For many of you here, I could almost see you even teaming up with other people to do little mini interviews where you kind of share some of your best tips and best practices, and then even both share that piece of content. So that could be another way to think of it. Okay, I'm going to dive into scheduling your content. Did anyone have any questions now about the calendar itself before I dive into the next half? Though we could take a couple minutes here if this is a good pot to anyone who's holding any questions back. Feel free to unmute or even just put them in the chat.
I have a question. I don't know if it's related to the calendar or not, but you mentioned that we should share blog posts and customer testimonials. Do you actually just put a link to your blog and then post that, or do you go and like copy and paste some of the text and then put a different picture? Like, what is the best way to do that?
Good question. Okay, so it will depend on the platform. So link supported platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook, you can put the link in, it'll make that beautiful link preview, and then you'll want to include a caption with, you know, a sentence or two about the blog post is about. On Instagram, of course, unfortunately, we do not have that option. So on Instagram, I would include, let's say it was like a 5-point checklist. I might include 1 point of the checklist, and then I might say, and click the link in my bio for the rest of the list. You know, I might, you know, and that way I'm encouraging them to go get more. Then I would have to make sure that of course, it is actually in the link in my bio so that they actually can go somewhere more. That makes sense? Yeah, no, that's a good question. Perfect. Good question. Other questions about content calendar?
Yeah, just a quick question. It's Renata. Just wondering, does it make a difference what time of the day that you post different types of articles?
Oh, good question. Hold that for scheduling because I've got a slide coming up on that.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, any other questions about the calendar? Otherwise, I will dive ahead into our next part of the presentation.
Sorry, I have one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
When it comes to when you post customer testimonials, what do you usually do? Do you just like put it as text in like brackets, or do you make a graphic, or do you like put a link from Clutch or something else?
Good question.
Or all of the above?
So sometimes all of the above. I usually make a little graphic in a tool called Canva. Everyone here using Canva? Hands up, for those of you that are on. Okay, Canva is like the best thing that ever happened to non-graphic designers. There's a free version available, Canva. I will just put it in the chat right now for making graphics. That's Canva like that. So I would make, let's say, you know, Leanne, you gave me a wonderful testimonial. I probably would take a snippet of the testimonial if you're like, Jen's the best social media person ever. And I put that, you know, I put that on the graphic and I make a little graphic, you know, Leanne beyond there on 6 degrees. And then in the caption, I would probably have a little story about how we worked together. Like, oh, it was so exciting to work with Leanne on this big project, and I helped her really get together a solid strategy. And by implementing the strategy, we saw, you know, a 50% growth on her account. Thank you so much, Leanne, for choosing me to be your social media coach. So that's how I would do it: a snippet of the testimonial, and then a little bit of our story of why we got that testimonial.
Awesome, thanks.
Good question. Okay, perfect. I will dive into scheduling then, because it seems like we've got some questions about that. So this is what I want you to say to yourself. I will stop posting content from my phone every day. Just say it to yourself right now. Jen said I will no longer do this, with the exception of things we can't schedule, but I'm just not going to like wing it on my phone. That's where I want you guys to get. So why do we need to schedule? Why, Jen? First of all, consistency. All of you here are very busy. And while you might even put it in your calendar at 9 a.m., you're going to put a post out. The reality is an email comes in, the phone rings, the kids are homesick, things happen, the post doesn't go out, a day goes by, shoot, I didn't post on social media again, I'll get to it tomorrow. And we've probably been there, and then another week has gone by, same story. So this is why we need to schedule our content. It will also let you preview your layout. I'm going to show you a few tools on that. You can format the captions. And ultimately, again, it's about getting those results. By showing up consistently, we are going to see actions. If we show up 1 week and then we ghost for a week and then we post 4 times in a row and then nothing again, Instagram, Facebook is going to be like, what the heck is this person doing? So we really want to make sure that you're showing up consistently and staying top of mind from your, for your audience. Okay, so when should you post? This is like a very, fun graphic. Now this is pre-COVID, so take everything with a grain of salt. The darker spots mean that in theory that it's more activities. This is specifically to Instagram. I will break it down for you. You don't have to memorize what the dark cells say. This basically says, in theory, the best times are during the week and the worst times are on the weekend, is in theory what this says. Now, everyone has to think about what their industry is. This was everything at a whole. There are some industries where probably it's completely the inverse, where the weekend is going to be the busiest time and the weekdays are going to be quieter. The truth of what this says is that we're doing social media during the workday on our phone. I mean, let's be honest. Most of us here are entrepreneurs, so we're only cheating ourselves by going on social media during the day. But for those of us who are, employees, that's what it means. It means your employees are like taking their lunch break and they're like scrolling on the Instagram or on their coffee break. And then in the evening, we go home to our kids and our families, we take a little break, and then we probably do some doom scrolling before bed. And, that's a day kind of thing. So you have to pair that. But the biggest takeaway for me, I always say to people is, when can you be online? Because there's the whole, when should I post? And so Ron, this is to your question, but when should I post? So when is your audience online? But when can you be online? So for you, Renata, like I imagine weekends and normal times to be very busy with open houses. You're out all day, you're at the open house. So should you be posting on a Saturday or Sunday when you're driving in the car to open houses? Maybe not, because you're going to be too busy doing other things, right? So I would rather see you posting on days when you're a little bit lighter and you're going to be in the office and you can actually check that the content goes out. Because even when we schedule our content, we want to make sure the posts went out and they went out correct. Things happen. We know technology fails us. A typo goes out, that the format, got wonky for some reason. So I want you to be able to have access to your phone to check. And most importantly, as we're going to see in a second, I want you to be able to respond to comments that come in. So for me, typically post between 8 and 9 in the morning, because I know the kids are finally out the door. I can finally sit down on my computer, and then I'm online during the day. And then in the evenings, I typically try and stay off my phone. The kids are back home. We're doing dinner, bedtime, the whole deal, as many of you guys are. So I don't want to be posting content late in the day because I don't want to have to check it. I want to know it's gone out. I've done my engagement piece and I can, move on to something else. Let's see, I have more about this. Okay, other thing, insights. All of you guys here, if you have a business Instagram account, you will have insights. You can check it on your phone right now. For those of you who are like, insights, Jen, tell me more about these insights. So if you go to your account, there is an insights button on like your profile page underneath edit profile, and you will get insights on your audience when they're online. For me, you can see my days are actually pretty consistent, a little bit heavier Tuesday, Wednesday. My follows, again, are typically online, as you can see, kind of up picking around 9 a.m. and again, a little bit less in the evening. And again, the hours and the days for different days of the week. So I can kind of get a general sense of when my audience is online. And then I pair that with, does this time actually work for me? If for some reason my audience was always online at 2 a.m., I'd be like, well, cool, that's an interesting tidbit, but I'm not going to be online at 2 a.m. So too bad, so sad that that's not what I'm going to post. Scheduling your content. I'm going to show you one of these options. So step 1, use the content calendar. Step 2, schedule your content. And there are lots of tools out there. So I've just highlighted 3 here. There are dozens more. So certainly if you're using something or you're more familiar with something, don't feel like this is Jen telling you to switch. I just like to highlight a couple that I know have worked best for my clients. So the first one is Later. I love Later, and I'm going to show you a little demo. If you are using what I want to say Instagram kind of first for your content, or Instagram is kind of your main channel, Later is the best platform, hands down, for Instagram first, and I will show you why. The only caveat with Later is it doesn't schedule to LinkedIn. I don't know why. They must have some sort of beef with LinkedIn and they do not schedule to LinkedIn. So for some of you here, LinkedIn might be like, LinkedIn, that's like the account I post to 5 days a week, or I wish I posted there 5 days a week, in which case Later may not be the best fit for you. So that's just something for you to kind of think about where it's going to be the best fit for your audience. The second one is Creator Studio. So this is Facebook's platform. Creator Studio used to be terrible. It is now medium. That's what I would say. Like, it has come a long way. When Facebook first rolled out Creator Studio, it was terrible. It didn't work very well. It was very glitchy. Now it's in a better place. And somebody who's using Facebook first and is always on Facebook, Creator Studio might be the best place to go. It also schedules to Instagram. So again, it's just going to kind of depend on where you like to be. Like if you're on Facebook all day doing stuff, then maybe Creator Studio is the right one for you. And then finally, Buffer. Buffer has the capability to schedule to LinkedIn. So this, again, if for some of you who may be thinking like, oh, LinkedIn is where my executive coaching clients are going to be found, maybe I need a tool that's scheduled to LinkedIn, then Buffer would be one to explore. I don't believe they have any free options anymore, so you'd have to be on a paid plan, but I think their paid plan starts at about $12 or $15 a month. So certainly not a make or break decisions. The only thing to make sure is you need a business account for any of these tools. You cannot schedule content to a personal account or creator account. You must have a business account. So just something to make sure that you have. All of you here probably would already have a business account, but just make sure you check that in your settings. If for some reason you're like, why is it not scheduling? It might just be that you don't have the right account type set up. So I will show you later feel like later, I feel like I should have an affiliate link because I always sell later to everyone. But later looks like this. If you're a visual kind of person like me, for some of you, the visuals here, you drag and drop the content in. I love that. I drag and drop a whole week or a whole month's worth of content in. I don't have to upload it post by post. So for me, I love that. Secondly, it's all drag and drop to schedule. And then thirdly, I have this beautiful kind of preview that I can see here. Oh, someone's saying Social Bee. Oh, I don't know that one, Kayvon. There's so many out there. So there are dozens more that do this, but these are just the ones that I know the best. But this is why I like Later, because I just find it very intuitive and easy to use. It's not bogged down with a ton of other features, I guess, but I actually think that it's just better because it is more simple. So I'll give you a quick preview of just what that looks like now. Hopefully I've got it open. Yes, I do. Excellent. So this is what it looks like. The only downside is you cannot schedule reels. For anyone using reels, we can talk about that later. So I don't have my reels scheduled in here. Those will have to be done on the phone. So just in case you're like, what's happening there? But let's say, okay, look, here's a lovely picture. This is from a carousel. I wanted to schedule this for the weekend. I literally just drag and drop it. I would type my caption here. This is going to go to Facebook and Instagram. I could customize my caption for Facebook and Instagram to make sure that I'm saying the right thing. On Facebook, of course, we could include the link. On Instagram, I would say something like link in bio. I could add my location. I could tag people. And then I would click create posts and it would go off into the world. It would be off to the races. So fairly simple and straightforward. Like anything, it's going to take, a time or two to practice and kind of just get used to the technology. But I have found it to be the most straightforward tool that I have used with clients before. So make sure I delete those. Sometimes I schedule these test posts and I forget to delete them after the presentation. So that, I think we're almost at the end here, guys. I think we're doing okay for time. What time do we have till, Aaron? Oh, okay. I was like aiming for like 3:15, so I didn't know what what our time was.
You're good for whenever. I mean, I guess everybody can stay as long as they need. And
okay, well, we're getting to the end here. I know some people have to run, and I always want to be respectful of people's time. So
I have a tour at 3:30 and we're good to go.
So a couple more just takeaway tips here before I wrap it up and we can go back to some more questions. I like to say aim to post 3 to 5 times a week. Now, if you really can't aim for 3, that's okay. Start where you are. I feel like 3 helps to keep us top of mind. If you can hit all 7, like amazing. But I'd rather you be aiming for quality content over quantity of content. So always keep that in mind. I'd rather not have you post 7 days a week and they're just like random pictures of your lovely dog or cat, but that don't have a business relation. So quality over quantity every time, and pick something that feels realistic for you. When possible, and this is why I want you to be online, make sure you're checking that post as soon as kind of to the scheduled time as you can, and try and respond to those comments that come in within the first hour. So typically I'll go on Instagram like 5 minutes before 9, my post is coming out. I kind of make sure everything looks good, respond to any comments from yesterday. My post goes out, I'm like, great. Any comments that come in right away, I'll respond to. And then like you, I am busy. I put my phone away, or I try to at least, and then I might check it again around lunchtime. So the goal here isn't that I expect you to be checking the comments throughout, the whole day, every 5 minutes. Don't do that. Our business coaches will tell you that, our social media notifications are ruining our productivity. But do check them first, put your phone away, perhaps check them at lunch, and then maybe, right at the end of the day for 5 more minutes, and that's enough. Pick a schedule and a cadence that works for you and is realistic and is not going to, destroy your productivity for the rest of the day. And when possible, try and schedule your content a week in advance. I like to do the high level month out planning and then really dive into the details week by week. If you can get to 2 or 3 weeks, amazing. I know sometimes it feels like a struggle, but the goal is when you have quieter times in your business, try and get ahead with social media. So when business picks up, as it always does, you've got a little bit of like wiggle room on your social media posts so that you're not running behind. Okay, so that's it. How can you work with me? I will tell you a few quick ways in case you would like more. I do have a few other workshops and webinars that are pre-recorded in case you have loved listening to the sound of my voice and just need more of it in your life. I have got a cheap and cheerful hashtag workbook. It is only $9. If you signed up for the content calendar, you will get an email about this, so you don't even have to search out where it is. This is what we would call my tripwire for those of you who work in marketing. I also just launched a Reels 101 course that literally launched about 2 weeks ago. It's been fantastic. I think lead did you get the course yet? I know I had a few people in our BNI group sign up for the course. It was wonderful. So if you want more specifically on Reels, this is a pre-recorded course for those of you who might be diving in. But then, of course, if you would love to work with me one-on-one, and I would love that with you, I've got a few different tiers depending on where your business needs are. One of them is just doing one-off sessions like this. My favorite one to do is the content calendar, where I take it. It's called the 90 and 90, where I plan out the next 90 days of your posts in just 90 minutes using the content calendar that you saw here. I also offer strategy sessions and combinations. My main package is my coaching package. So like some of the coaches here is where I work with you one-on-one to really define what your digital marketing goals are. We put a plan in place and we stay in contact. And then I do have some done for you solutions as well for anybody who's looking for a bit more support. So those are lots of ways. If you do get my email, you can book a free consult with me, of course, anytime, so that I can get to know you, learn about your business, and see what would be the best fit for what your goals are right now. Finally, follow me at Mountaintop Consulting. I would love to see your businesses and where you are today. That's me on Instagram. You can also find me on LinkedIn, of course, at Jennifer Kulboc. When you sign up for the content calendar, you'll be added to my email list. I promise not to spam you. I send out about 1 email a week with different action-packed tips for social media marketing. Email me at info@Mountaintop Consulting or visit my website to learn more. Whew, under the wire for me. That is impressive.
Yeah, we ran a bit long. We had a bit more, maybe next time I'll do 1 minute intros, just because we had a great turnout, 15, I think we had. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That was so much content, so much, that was amazing. I think everybody took away from that for sure. Yeah, you're amazing. Everybody, we do have some more events coming up this month.
Oh, so did anyone have any questions that I didn't address about in the second half before we wrap up? Because I know some people have to jump off.
Mine was scheduled until 3:30, so I thought this was another 10 minutes.
Perfect. Any questions? Anyone? It doesn't have to even be about this. You can ask me. You got a couple minutes here to ask me your general social media questions. So pick my brain. Here you go.
So Jennifer, first of all, thank you very much for sharing your valuable information. It's given me a couple of things to think about. And what I've found over the years is I do all of my business industry postings and activities on LinkedIn, and I do all of my personal stuff on Facebook. I find that it helps me to differentiate between the two, where people get to know me from either side. So on personal Facebook, I put like postings about different kinds of animals, different current events happening, not so much political, but just different events happening and things like that. Whereas in the business, I'll put information about what to look out for when you're getting emails and things popping up on your screen and things like that. So it's just more or less a comment statement that I wanted to make, which I find is the best way for me personally is to separate the two.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why for some of you here, like I do have 2 separate accounts even on Instagram, so that I've got a place for people to know me as just Jennifer Kulboc. And that's a little bit more gated around who I kind of want in that community. And then of course my business tips separately. So yes, I definitely always agree having that personal and business separate. It gives us a place to make sure we're communicating the right message to the right people.
That's right, exactly.
Perfect. Any other social media thoughts, tips, takeaways?
You're amazing.
Thank you, Linda. I just put the link again in the chat in case you guys missed it, because I know we've had a ton of messages go on. So if you want to grab that link again, Erin, are you going to email out the presentation to everyone after or later on in the week?
I will, I'll work on getting it out to everybody tomorrow morning. So I'll have that out to everybody ASAP. So I'll share that with everybody. Did anybody else have any more questions for Jennifer before? No?
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me, Erin. This has been wonderful. Please email me, connect with me. I would love to hear a little bit more about you than your elevator pitch and how you much like the snow. And hopefully, Erin, I can come back and do another workshop in the future.
That sounds great. We'd love to have you again. And if anybody wants, actually, if Jessica's still here, she actually also has another Link and Learn. We have Trevor's coming up February 16th at 1 p.m. Then on the 18th of February, we have our virtual Gather, which is our Tri-City Schmoozers. So Gather is a really awesome platform, kind of like Zoom, but more of a casual type vibe where you can walk around and actually gather with people. It's kind of more realistic. It's a lot of fun. And then on the 19th, the Friday, and that's at 7 p.m. at night. And that one's actually free for members. All of our events are free for members. $10 for the virtual Gather. The Link and Learns are always free. Next month, that might be changing just with the restrictions easing up. We're going to start hopefully when they do. We'll do in-person events again, and yeah, it was nice to offer this free for everybody for the pandemic. And then after the 19th, we have Follow Fridays. That is at 3 o'clock, and that's a great place where you can put all your tags and everything and your social media calendar that Jennifer has conducted for you. You can actually put that to work and get some reviews on that. And then we have Jessica Couthard. She's doing her Link and Learn on February 26th, and that is at 7 p.m. And that's she wants to know what drives you and what's your wrecking force there. So that'll be great. We have tons of events every month. This month was a busy one. We had free co-working week, but everybody is welcome to a free day pass if you want to escape your house and make your workplace your home, not your workplace, and have a home to go home to. So come on in if you want. But thank you everybody for joining us. This has been wonderful. And I'll hopefully you can look out for my email tomorrow morning.